The story begins on an island, where a reporter named Sam is taking pictures all around the area. As he moves from place to place, he notices something strange. Every single person he's photographing is asleep. 3 days earlier, for reasons no one can explain, everyone living on the island suddenly fell asleep at the exact spot where they were. Some collapsed in a swimming pool, others on a bus, while the lucky ones happened to be at home when it happened. No one can explain why an entire island suddenly falls asleep together. What's even more disturbing is that no one knows what's wrong with them. Their bodies show no visible changes at all. The only unusual thing doctors have discovered is that whenever someone tries to move them, their blood pressure spikes almost instantly. Because of that, everyone is left exactly where they fell asleep, whether they're inside a car or even lying across a tree branch. Moving any of them causes a dangerous spike in their blood pressure. Doctors and research teams arrive on the island and perform every test they can think of, but none of them can figure out what caused this mysterious event. Strangely enough, the people who came from outside the island aren't affected at all. Because of that, the doctors and researchers decide to set up a camp on the island and stay there until they uncover the real reason behind what's happening. The mystery only deepens as every test leads absolutely nowhere. Even reporters aren't allowed anywhere near the island, but Sam secretly finds a way inside. At one point, we see him taking pictures inside a bus where several people are peacefully asleep. Then he notices something unusual. One of the sleeping women is holding a goldfish, and it's the only thing that's still moving. Since it's the only living thing showing any movement, Sam takes it with him so he has someone to talk to and doesn't feel so alone. The only thing still moving is a tiny goldfish in her hands. One interesting detail is that none of the island's animals or birds have been affected. After finishing his photos, Sam enters a house where he finds a young woman named Stella asleep in her bed. After quietly looking at her, he leaves her exactly where she is and walks into another room. That's when he notices 2 researchers standing outside the house. He secretly watches them from his hiding spot because if they discover he's on the island, he could end up facing serious consequences. One wrong move could expose him before anyone ever wakes up. After the researchers leave, Sam quietly lies down in another room and falls asleep. That night, he dreams about Stella shopping at a grocery store. She walks right past him without paying any attention to him, so Sam calls out her name. Surprised, Stella looks at him and asks, "How do you know my name?" The instant she says those words, Sam suddenly wakes up. Her question follows him even after the dream suddenly ends. The next morning, Sam wakes up and spends some time listening to the radio while talking to the still sleeping Stella. After getting ready, he heads back outside to take more pictures. Along the way, he notices a man peacefully asleep on a tree branch. Later, Sam walks into a church filled with people who are all still asleep. After photographing everyone inside, he sits down for a moment, and before he realizes it, he quietly drifts off to sleep again. Another dream begins, and Stella is waiting there once again. The two of them sit facing each other as Stella asks whether he came to the island because he wanted money. If that's the reason, she tells him he should leave immediately. Sam explains that he didn't come for money at all. He came for the experience, believing it would help him earn more in the future. As soon as he finishes speaking, he suddenly wakes up and quietly returns to the house. There, he begins looking through Stella's belongings and finds the journal she faithfully wrote in every day. Every page makes him feel closer to someone he's never truly met. As Sam keeps reading, he feels more and more connected to Stella. In his dreams, she now speaks to him much more comfortably. He asks her what it actually feels like during this endless sleep. Stella tells him that sometimes everything feels completely peaceful, but other times it feels as if she's constantly falling into a bottomless abyss. She also tells Sam that she was the very last person to fall asleep, which is probably why she was still at home when it happened. The deeper their conversations become, the stranger the mystery feels.
Stella explains that the first person she saw fall asleep was her piano teacher. He suddenly collapsed right in the middle of class, and after that, whatever caused it spread across the island until every single person had fallen asleep. But that was only part of the dream. Back in reality, the next day, Sam heads outside again. At one point, he spots a car completely filled with balloons. Just as he's taking a picture of it, he notices 2 researchers standing on the balcony of the house across the street. Before they can spot him, Sam disappears back into the shadows. He hides before they notice him and quickly returns to the house. By now, Sam realizes that staying on the island could get him into serious trouble, so he hurriedly packs all of his belongings and leaves. But when he reaches his boat at the shoreline, he stands there for a long time, thinking. Deep down, he can't bring himself to leave Stella behind. In the end, he decides to turn around and stay so he can spend more time with her. Without realizing it, Sam has already fallen deeply in love with Stella. From then on, Stella keeps appearing in his dreams to talk with him. One day, after he falls asleep again, he finds her sitting across from him. She asks him to finally tell her the real reason he stayed on the island. This time, Sam tells her the truth. A year earlier, he had come to the island for a vacation. That's when he first saw her inside a grocery store. After that, she walked into a restaurant and he followed her there, but he never found the courage to say a single word to her. Some feelings stay silent until fate finally gives them another chance. Sam tells Stella that he liked her the very first time he saw her, but after that day, they never crossed paths again. So when he finally got another chance, he came back to the island so he could truly get to know her. After waking from the dream, Sam heads to the grocery store to pick up a few things for the house. At that moment, two researchers also walk into the store. One of them notices Sam, but he immediately pretends to be asleep. One convincing lie is all that keeps his secret safe. After checking him, the researchers grab what they need and leave. As soon as they're gone, Sam collects the supplies he came for, enjoys himself for a while, and then leaves money beside the sleeping cashier before walking out. When he gets back to the house, he notices some boxes stored up in the attic. While looking through them, he finds a tape recorder filled with recordings where Stella talks about everything she likes and dislikes. Every recording reveals another piece of the woman he barely knows. Listening to the first side of the cassette, Sam learns that Stella loves unusual things, like headless Barbie dolls, floating flamingos, and especially the sound of a typewriter. Wanting to make her happy whenever she wakes up, he gathers all of her favorite things and places them around the house. Stella also mentions that she loves going for a long drive along the beach. The moment Sam hears that, he drifts back into his dream, where Stella is already waiting, ready to go on that long drive with him. Even his dreams begin feeling more real than the waking world. Stella tells Sam they should take the car belonging to one of the sleeping residents. Sam says they shouldn't steal it, but Stella insists they aren't stealing anything. They're just borrowing it for a little while. Eventually, Sam gives in, and the two of them sneak into the man's house, grab the car keys, and head out for a drive. During the drive, Sam realizes just how cheerful and free-spirited Stella really is. That's exactly why he falls in love with her. As soon as the dream ends, he wakes up and notices several doctors at Stella's house. They come every week to check on her, so the moment Sam sees them, he quickly hides inside a closet. Every visit forces Sam to stay completely hidden from the outside world. After the doctors finish examining Stella, they leave the house. Once they're gone, Sam quietly steps out of the closet, takes Stella's hand, and lies down beside her. He spends a long time talking to her before the next day arrives. Later, Sam goes back to the attic and listens to the second side of the tape recorder. This time, Stella talks about the things she dislikes, especially how lonely she feels. She says that even though she lives alone, she hates the loneliness more than anything. Her loneliness reaches Sam long before she ever truly wakes up. After hearing that, Sam returns to her once again in his dreams. He promises Stella that he'll never leave her alone. He also tells her that everyone has a soulmate, and maybe the two of them are meant for each other. But Stella simply looks at him and says she doesn't think that's true. Her answer quietly shatters the hope Sam has been holding on to. After hearing Stella's response, Sam realizes he may have stayed on the island because of nothing more than false hope. So he decides to leave once again. But just like before, he can't bring himself to go. Instead, he returns to the house and cooks all of Stella's favorite foods. As always, she appears in his dream again and tells him he should leave because the Stella he knows through her diary and tape recordings is very different from the real Stella. Deep down, Sam realizes she's right. Sometimes the truth hurts more than the dream itself ever could. While all of this is happening inside his dreams, Sam tries to leave the island for a third time, but this time, something suddenly changes. He becomes unbearably thirsty. No matter how much water he drinks, his thirst never goes away. At the same time, he starts feeling overwhelmingly sleepy. That's when Sam realizes the mysterious condition has finally started affecting him too. The island finally begins claiming the one person who stayed behind. Barely able to stay on his feet, Sam somehow makes it back to Stella's house. The moment he gets there, he falls asleep. The next morning, he wakes up again, but he already knows what's coming. Before long, he'll end up in the same endless sleep as everyone else on the island. So he writes several notes for Stella, hoping she'll find them one day. Then, a short time later, Sam also falls into a deep sleep. A few days afterward, we finally notice the first small movement from Stella's body. For the very first time, someone finally begins to wake up. Stella had finally woken up, but her body had almost no energy left after sleeping for 3 straight weeks. She somehow made her way to the sink for a drink of water, and that's when she noticed a second toothbrush sitting there. Right away, she realized someone else had been living in the house. As she looked around, she found her tape recorder, the headless Barbie doll, and the giant flamingo. After seeing all of them, she walked into the next room, where she found Sam fast asleep. Every quiet clue slowly revealed a stranger who somehow understood her. Stella tried over and over to wake him up, but he wouldn't respond. She was furious because she had already figured out that Sam had read her diary and listened to her recordings. She even tried hitting him to wake him up, but nothing worked. While she was trying, she came across several notes Sam had written for her. In them, he apologized for reading her diary and listening to her recordings. He also told Stella that the only way to overcome her loneliness was to tear down the walls she'd built around herself and let people into her life. Sometimes, the deepest understanding comes from someone you've never truly met. That's when Stella realized that even though Sam had been a complete stranger, he understood her better than almost anyone else. From that moment on, she began taking care of Sam the same way he had once taken care of her. Their silent connection had already changed both of their lives forever. During this time, Stella started seeing Sam in her dreams. They talked about his likes, dislikes, and many other things. Then, after several days had passed, Stella woke up one morning and realized Sam was no longer lying where he had been sleeping. She went looking for him, and when she walked into the kitchen, she found him there. Some bonds feel timeless, even before two people truly meet. When they finally saw each other, it didn't feel like their first meeting at all. It felt as if they had known each other for years. They already knew so much about one another. The two of them shook hands, and before long, they were completely lost in conversation. Every shared moment erased the distance that once stood between them. In the movie's final scene, we see the woman on the bus wake up from her long sleep. She was the same woman who had been holding the goldfish. This time, though, there weren't one but two fish in the bowl. Sam had placed the second one there, making it clear that just like that goldfish, Stella was no longer alone, because now she had him by her side. Some endings quietly become the beginning of a brand new life together. Maybe the scariest part isn't what happened, it's realizing how easily it could happen. If stories that stay with you long after they're over are your kind of stories, subscribe to KTS Mosan. Now think about it. If you were there, what would you have done?